going to kill that public land sale deal from the big, beautiful bill. We did it.
We did
before we even got you in here.
Well, I mean, we're not out of the woods yet, is the reality, yeah. I mean, I was hoping that you and I were gonna team up and tee off on these sons of bitches and watch it die together. That would have been ideal.
I think it's dead.
It is dead. It is dead, but we're a long way from this stuff being
dead ever.
Dead
forever.
ever.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It's got to be dead forever. It's not theirs to sell. It's very unique to the United States. It's an amazing thing that we have. And I don't think people in other countries understand this. I don't think people in America even understand how unique it is. Like our public lands, what they did when they set that up, not just national parks, but all the public lands, we created this insane resource, this beautiful resource where we can go into the mountains, into the woods, and enjoy nature. And it's ours. It's all of ours.
And the amount of response from listeners that live outside the country, and to a person, they're like, are you guys really going to screw this up? They're like, how do people not know? How do people not appreciate what you guys have? Don't turn into this country or this country or this country. Basically, any other country outside of Canada and the U.S.
I think the real issue is the people in America that don't experience it and don't go there and don't know how insanely unique this situation is. Like, I don't know how to say Chamath's last name, Polyhoptia, is that how you say it? Even he was tweeting, this is a great deal, sell the land and, we'll make some money. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, you don't understand. Like, this was an incredible gift that they gave us when they set America up this way.
Oh, yeah, and it's not that they need to go out and experience. They can also understand just where food comes from, right? How we get cold water and fresh water in our taps. That public resource is working on our behalf 24/7, 365, always has been and always will be as long as we don't screw it up, right? So it's not just the recreational part of it. It is no different than, if you want to think of it in these terms, than some, one-armed jack pumping oil out of the ground. Like, it is constantly working on our behalf, and it being public land needs to be an intact ecosystem to do its job. And there's less and less of it every year. So, like, for instance, right, like America's grasslands, we are losing 2 million acres, and grasslands are kind of like a catch-all phrase a little bit, but it'd be like sagebrush ecosystem, short grass prairie, mixed grass prairie, but we're losing 2 million acres a year. It's the most threatened ecosystem, not just in the U.S., but in the entire planet. And people are like, oh, it's just grass. Not
How
doing
are we
anything.
losing that?
Development.
Really?
Well, there's development, but also encroachment of tree species. So cedars, junipers, stuff like that, working their way back out on to the prairie, to the plain. And we used to have all these natural deforesters out there, bison, that wouldn't allow those trees to grow because they like rubbing up on stuff and they'll destroy them. So, millions of bison out there physically removing or preventing that tree encroachment onto the plain. Those trees are sucking water out of the ground, making it more arid and more dry. Water table goes down. You lose a lot of species diversification, and people just do not know, Joe. They just don't know. And they look at it and they're like, it's just grass.
Yeah, I never knew that it was 2 million acres a year. How many acres in the United States?
About 2.23 billion acres in the U.S.
So that's a lot. Like 2 million acres a year is a lot.
2 million acres a year is a lot. And like, I was hacking on Jamie for his golf swing, right? We got about
Jamie's got a solid golf swing. You gotta leave him alone.
That's about all I got is the golf swing.
Leave him alone. He can swing. Jamie, what's the longest drive you've ever hit?
I've hit it over, 310, whatever, 305.
That's legit
Not
as
consistent,
fuck.
but I've done it.
That's legit, right? I don't play golf, but I think that's pretty legit. What's
I'm
like
nodding
world
my
record?
head because I'm like, yeah, I have no idea. 300s, that's
They've
a
set
lot.
someone up to hit over 600 yards before, but
Wow.
that's like with the wind and the elevation. And elevation helps a lot.
Right, like Montana or
Yeah,
something
you
like
can hit
that.
it. I could hit it 400 yards in Montana.
Really?
I have on the simulator.
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting.
right,
The
but-
simulator. Oh, the simulator accounts for that.
Yeah, but you don't have to dodge bears on the simulator.
2 million acres of golf courses in the U.S.
Is there?
2 million acres.
Okay,
of just,
so that's
just
a good
golf
way to look
courses.
at it. Like,
Right.
All the golf courses in the United States get lost every year in grassland.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good way to put it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so we talk in as far as like the public estate, right? We have 640 million acres is the number that you hear all the time. 83 million of those are national parks. But thanks to the great state of Alaska, you can hunt inside the boundary of some national parks up there to the tune of about like 43 million acres. Big chunks, right? And then you remove a little for structures, roads. We have over 400,000 miles of road on Forest Service and BLM ground.
Wow.
I mean, it's a lot, right? And then when we get into like talking about like the budgeting of things, like BLM, Forest Service, they're maintaining a lot of stuff that people take for granted. And then, so we're down to like 580 million acres of what I would consider like usable. And then you consider what those acres can actually produce, right? Which, if you go to a super arid state, you need a lot more land to support like mammal, ungulate type life than you do in a state that's got a lot
Like
more
Oregon,
water.
something
Yeah,
like that,
that's
right?
growing a lot
Yeah.
of food in a smaller amount of space, right?
Yeah.
So to make things palatable for people, we're always doing the work of like dumbing things down, dumbing down the messaging.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're right. Like people don't know. They don't know because we try to distill things into like all public land,
Yeah.
right? But it is so diverse, which is what makes it amazing. And that diversity provides all this opportunity. And one of the things that people need to keep in mind is we have nothing but bad examples. All these other countries have gone the complete opposite way of what we have now. And one of America's largest exports is hunters. Like we send hunters all over the world to support these other economies. And what we have here at home is insanely valuable, and it just becomes more and more valuable because we have large intact ecosystems that you just more and more cannot find anywhere else, right?
Yeah, and I wish more people appreciated it. I wish more people experienced it. There's just too many people that just are landlocked. I mean, what I mean by landlocked, I mean in cities. Urban locked is probably the best term for it. There's just too many people that just don't go out. They don't know how amazing it is. It's like, I always say that it's like a vitamin that you didn't know you needed. You get out into the real wild, the real woods. It's some kind of a nutrient that you didn't know you needed.
Oh, man, I was just went up to the Arctic, went up to Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to check that place out. And 24 hours of sun, right? Land in the midnight sun, never gets dark. And I was the only person on that trip who didn't bring like some sort of an eye cover to sleep with. And I just can't tell you like how hard and good I slept up there. Like
Really? Even without eye
drooling
cover?
all over myself, and it's just clean air and lots of space, man. It is magical.
How do you sleep with no eye cover?
I swear to God, Joe, man, when it was time to go to bed, and it started out like bed was at 10:30, and then bed was at 2:30 in the morning, and then bed was 3 a.m. Because you would get, as that sun's kind of like making this low orbit. I'm sure you've seen like the time lapses of the sun, like kind of does a little dip.
Yeah.
You get this like hazy, gorgeous light that you just wanted to stay up and see. But I'd close my eyes and I could see like the sun going down to darkness and in my brain, because it was just time to go to bed. It was really bizarre. And then if I had to wake up for something, it was bright light and I couldn't figure out why. Yeah, but I mean, it was so cathartic, man. Like, we've been running so hard, and because of this public lands battle that we've been in, I think most people are like, oh yeah, it just popped up last week and then we crushed it in big win. And a little larger group of people or smaller group of people is like, oh, it started in the House about 6 weeks ago. And then there's a real small group of people who are like, August 24th, the state of Utah submitted a lawsuit for the United States Supreme Court to take 18.5 million acres of BLM land in Utah. August 2024 is when we were like, oh my God, we got to be on top of this. This is what's coming. Trump's going to win the election. It's going to set all these things up, and we're going to be in this fight.
Yeah.
And people were like, I don't even know why you're talking about this. This isn't a big deal. I'm like, oh, it is a big deal. This is happening.
Well, it's such a slippery slope, too. This is what people don't know or don't appreciate. If you say, oh, it's only like 1 million acres, we'll sell off 1 million acres, it'll help fix the debt. No, it's not. The debt's $37 trillion. You're not going to fix the debt by selling off public land. And if you open up that slippery slope to these fucking vampire developers, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep sucking on that blood until there's nothing left, until it's just the national parks. Oh, we preserved Yellowstone. Oh, great.
And that quite literally is, like Mike Lee is like the figurehead of this right now. He's on the record saying, we're going to sell everything. We need to sell everything. That's the plan. We're going to retain the national parks and maybe a couple other things. And he's been on the record for damn near 20 years saying this stuff.
Who's paying him?
There's a lot there, right? Like where he grew up in Utah, there's a lot of like,
well, that's
I would
where
say
Chaffetz is from, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he was the guy we were fighting a few years ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly why I dug this shirt out, Joe.
Yeah, I got one of those somewhere.
Yeah. I wore this shirt on your show the last time this shit was happening.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That's right. It was happening back then. That was like what, 5 years ago?
Oh, I mean,
6
you were
years
still
ago?
in California.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
5 years ago. I moved here, so it had to be 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And it's cyclical.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, people didn't pay attention to this Utah lawsuit. I went back to DC for, Steve's on the board for Teddy Roosevelt Conservation Partnership, TRCP.
Mm-hmm.
They have a policy meeting that I try to go to twice, 2 or 3 times a year. And I was in there with all these people that are super smart and went to school for all this stuff. And a couple of us were like, why is nobody talking about this? Why is nobody concerned about this? And then this idea of selling public lands got really conflated with like, oh my God, if you talk about anything that's going on with the federal government, you're anti-Trump. And it was just this ultra politicized hot potato. We're like, no. Public lands, they're for everybody. Like, this is a nonpartisan thing. We've been talking about it since August. Here's this lawsuit. Like, they're selling land that belongs to everybody, doesn't matter what state you're in. And then, like, the next domino fell, and a bunch of states and counties signed on an amicus brief for that Utah lawsuit, which is like a friend of the court filing, because they wanted to get in, like, stuff's going up for free or cheap fire sale. They wanted to be in on it. And then the next domino fell, which was, Mike Lee's getting pulled into the White House, and he's cutting deals, and we know exactly what's on his mind. And it was literally just like this opening in the world where nobody's talking about 18.5 million acres. So what if we started talking about 200 million acres or 500 million acres? And it just like totally kicked the door open to this whole enchilada fire sale. And had the dude not been as greedy, people may not have gotten as fired up about it. But, you know, kind of thank God he did.
So who's paying him?
Man, I think, and I'm not an expert on this, there's some like real ideology here, like Mormon church ideology. You know, there's like 1 billion people in the Mormon church, so not
Is there
everybody
really?
thinks like
There's
this.
1 billion?
I don't know what the number is. There's a lot. Wasn't it like the most fastest growing religion there for a while?
Is it because you get extra chicks? What is the deal?
There's a lot of pretty people. There's a lot of pretty people, man. That's a hook for sure.
Well, I have a friend who lives in Salt Lake, and he said that like they'll literally send hot girls to try to recruit people.
Yeah.
Like they knock on your door and they're hot.
I mean, I can't blame them for going with what works, right? I
They're
mean,
also, is in terms of like, it's a weird religion, right? Because here, what's the number here? 17 million. Global membership.
Global membership,
So global
right.
17 million. So you were off by a few hundred.
yeah, a
million.
few 100 million, yeah. Yeah.
In 2024, they reached a 27-year high. Wow. Significant surge in convert baptisms in 2024. I wonder what those hot girls going door to door.
Yeah. But there's
they're
this
the nicest
idea-
people. They are
Oh.
the fucking nicest. Mormons are the nicest. I had a few neighbors that were Mormons when I lived in California. They're my favorite people. Like out of all the people
Absolutely.
in a weirdo religion.
Absolutely.
This episode is brought to you by Uber Eats. Summer is here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do I mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get chicken parmesan delivered. A day in the sun? No. A bottle of rum? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. For almost anything delivered with Uber Eats, order now. For alcohol, you must be legal drinking age. Please enjoy responsibly. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
I got asked, I was fishing down in Louisiana with a super grumpy old fishing guide. And he's like, hey, Callahan, what do you think about Muslims? And I kind of put the fly rod down for a second, and I was like,
Where are we going? Where are we going with this?
I was like all of them?
yeah.
I'm like, there's a lot of Muslims, bud. Like, all of them. I'm like, what do you think about Louisianans? Like, all of them,
Right.
right? I'm like, come on,
How
bud.
are you going to do that?
Yeah. Hey, what? I'm sure there's some really good ones, and I'm sure there's some real bad ones, and everything
Yeah.
in between.
Like all humans.
Yeah, kind of like all humans. So on the Mormon church side of things, there's, there's some doctrine, some church doctrine that says that the land is put here for the benefit of the people, and you're basically, and I'm very much paraphrasing here, you're spiting God if you're not developing that land for profit, like for the profit of the people. And so there is a strong theory that Mike Lee is
he Mormon?
is so indoctrinated into this part of the church that this is like his divine mission.
That's a problem.
Right? And so it's religious zealotry.
Yeah.
Right?
I was not aware of that.
And so, but again, like, that doesn't have to be representative of the entire religion. And to the people that I hang out with that are Mormon, it's absolutely not. Right? They're like public lands that are set aside for multiple use. Don't get locked up. Don't get developed in certain ways are the best thing. Right? But, and this is something that just like has got to get talked about. Mike Lee is like very much in power. He is the chair. He's a senior senator. He is the chair of the Energy and Natural Resources Committee in the Senate. And like I said, he starts getting drug into the White House. He starts consolidating power. and he starts telling everybody, hey, I'm going to put this amendment in, and you better not go against it, or else for the next 6 years, which is technical as long as Republicans stay in power, he's not going to lose his chairmanship of the Energy and Natural Resources Committee. As long as he's there, none of their stuff is going to be read, because it's the chair that decides what they're going to review, what they're going to look at, and what they're going to pass. So here's this dude who is leveraging everything for his personal thing. And he had his shot, and he took it, and fortunately people started cluing in, and there was enough of an on-ramp that there was a blowback literally in every state, all 50 states. People wrote in to first their representatives, then their senators, and it created enough of a, oh my God, this is going to set back the entire big beautiful bill. This is only one part of the dumpster fire that is the big beautiful bill, but it's going to take this whole thing off the tracks, and that's why it's killed. Now, Lee issued a statement, which is like a gut shot if you're in my position, who've been like tracking this thing, you know, since August. And, you know, it said, oh, I listened to the American people, right? Well, he rewrote the language. He and his team, his staff, rewrote the language 4 different times to get it past the Senate parliamentarian. It did pass. And you don't do that if you're listening to the American people, right? The American people, by the end of this, were very united in saying, not 1 acre. It started as not 1 acre in the budget reconciliation process, which is, you know, part of what they're doing here in the big beautiful bill, or is what they're doing. And the phrasing there really matters, right? Like, we have systems in place for land sales, legal framework. Both of those, you know, it's acronyms, government acronyms, FLTNA, and the revenues from land sales go back into acquiring land of greater value. There's all these acts since 1781, all of these acts for the disposal of federally managed land, and that those 2 that I named are the most recent, and they're designed to maybe not retain the same acreage, but provide the most value to the American people. And what Lee was doing in this reconciliation process was completely circumventing that. And as you mentioned, like, nobody, no citizen in the United States is going to feel any change from dumping $100 million into the federal treasury right now. And that's where the money was going.
Wow.
So,
So, going forward in the future, how do we make sure that this never happens again? Do we have to just keep doing this every few years when it comes up?
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and that's the best thing that could have come out of this. Like, we made this huge stink, right? From all the different buckets that politicians pay attention to, right? All the different user groups, Democrats, Republicans, independents, everybody came together. And more than likely, a shitload of people, the 36% of Americans who didn't vote in the last election, probably chose to speak up, some large percentage of them, and said, no public land sales. Hopefully that created enough of, you know, what they call it in Washington is like a third rail issue. It's like, doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, you can't have this as part of your agenda because you're going to get shot down, right? That's like the near-term win, because that feeling won't last forever.
Right.
There's a piece of legislation out of Ryan Zinke's office, who's our Montana congressman. and he was actually started as Secretary of the Interior under Trump in his first term. Zinke has this Public Lands and Public Hands Act, and it would not have prevented what just happened, this budget reconciliation thing, but it does put some more guardrails around the sale of federally managed land, and that would be like a really positive thing. However, just like I explained, like Mike Lee's position in the Senate, it would have to get through him. Like, he's got to be circumvented. There's no way he's going to vote for something like this, and it's got to go through the House. And everything I've heard about on the House committees is there's some people there that don't want to see this thing happen. So more people are signing on to the Public Lands and Public Hands Act, which is awesome show of support. Senator Heinrich out of New Mexico's got it written for the Senate. No Republican co-sponsors. He needs Republican co-sponsors in the Senate just to get the ball rolling there. But we still have like these knuckleheads that are saying, if you didn't vote for my thing, I won't let a single good thing happen for the next 6 years. That goes, provided they don't get removed somehow, somewhere.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you see these bills, because these bills are like, I think they read the entire bill on the floor, and it took 14 hours, and no one was there. They just read it to an empty audience because nobody sat around for 14 hours. So what was it, 900 pages?
Yeah.
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 It's just like, how are you signing off on things that I know you're not reading?